Rounds of thunderstorms continue to cause issues across central and eastern Kentucky. I'm tracking the very latest on your Defender Radar Network.
There are no words to describe the atrocity that occurred to our city.
Terror on the streets of Dallas. We are tracking the latest investigation into the deadly sniper attack killing 5 police officers.
Dozens of police officers across the nation, including here in Kentucky, are paying tribute to the Dallas Police Department. We'll show you how they're honoring them.
This is WKYT News at 5:30.
We're hurting. Our profession is hurting. Dallas officers are hurting.
Heartbreak in Dallas, Texas. Today, 5 officers have died and 7 others are recovering after a shooting attack overnight at what was supposed to be a peaceful protest.
Good evening to you. We will get to the very latest surrounding the tragic police shootings in Dallas in just a moment.
First, we are tracking some strong to severe storms pushing across the state, and that's why our WKYT First Alert Severe Weather Day continues tonight. We begin with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey.
Slowly but surely, we are getting in on some better weather now across the region. Flash flood warnings are out for numerous counties into central and southeastern Kentucky, but with the heaviest rains now pressing out of Kentucky into Tennessee and Virginia, if you don't have flooding ongoing where you live right now, chances are you're not going to see any. So that is some good news. Defender Radar Network with the strongest storms that are cruising out of Harlan and Bell counties into southwestern Virginia. And catching a break, we may even get a couple of hours of sunshine into central Kentucky. Heavy rain right now into Harlan County, but the strongest storm is now into Virginia. Cleaning it up slowly here from Knox County into Bell County and towards downtown Harlan, right along 119. A lot of heavy rain, thunder and lightning. Still some heavy rain to go through here to the north of that, but this is beginning to quickly zip on through. So Jackson, where we've had a little flash flooding, you've got about another half hour to 45 minutes of some steady rains, and then a lot of this will begin to work on out of town. Lexington area in much better shape right now compared to what we started out the day with when we had some severe weather, at least threat for severe weather late morning, early afternoon. A few storms are going up into southern parts of Indiana. They're going to try to make a run at us as the evening goes on. A lot of that, though, is going to move into air that has been cleaned up a little bit across the bluegrass state, guys. We'll come back in just a few minutes, and we'll look at a brand new future radar to see if those storms can indeed hold together into central and eastern Kentucky.
Law enforcement officials throughout this country are responding to last night's sniper attacks in Dallas, with a number of departments telling officers not to patrol alone.
Meanwhile, in Dallas, the investigation continues. We've learned more about the suspect that was killed overnight, but not much else is being said about the others taken into custody. Joe Waldman begins our top story team coverage from Dallas.
People here in Dallas and across the country still trying to get a handle on last night's deadly sniper attack, targeting white officers protecting a protest against police brutality. The investigation is still in the early stages, but Dallas police say the attack appears to be racially motivated. The suspect said he reportedly wanted to kill white police officers. Attorney General Loretta Lynch says the Justice Department is keeping a close eye on the situation.
We intend to provide any assistance that we can to investigate this attack and also to help heal a community that has been severely shaken and deeply scarred.
Meanwhile, police departments across the country are taking extra precautions. Many, including New York, Philadelphia, and Las Vegas, ordering their officers to patrol in pairs or groups. Some officials say the shooting and the increased threat is the direct result of a recent pattern of disrespect toward law enforcement.
We need to honor the fallen and never forget them. And then we also need to start figuring out ways that we can support our law enforcement officers.
And in Dallas, police still out in force, hoping to transform the tension here into a feeling of safety. But many say the attack, coming during an otherwise peaceful protest, is a sign the city needs to change.
For this to happen and for officers to be killed during this is like a wake-up call that something different needs to happen.
And that was Joel Waldman reporting. Police killed 25-year-old the suspect Micah Johnson after a standoff early Friday morning. We learned today that he is a former Army reservist who served in Afghanistan. And leaders from other states are weighing in on the Dallas shooting. Today, New York Governor Andrew Cuomo addressed the shooting at an unrelated scheduled event in Utica. He had some strong remarks and called for national unity.
We are one people. We are one nation, we are one state, and we celebrate the differences, and we celebrate the diversity. And we've come as far as we've come because we focus on the commonalities and the similarities, not on the differences.
President Obama has also signed a proclamation today lowering flags to half-staff at the White House and across the country in memory of the police officers. Flags will remain lowered until sunset Tuesday.
This shooting has left people all over this country in shock today. And as the investigation in Dallas continues, communities across the country are coming together. And that includes right here in Kentucky, happening right now in Madison County. A prayer vigil for the Dallas Police Department going on right now in front of the Richmond Police Department. Everyone is welcomed to attend. Lexington police also took time this morning to pay tribute to the Dallas Police Department. At 11:45, Lexington officers pulled over and turned on their emergency lights for 1 minute. Police Chief Mark Barnard and Mayor Jim Gray observed the moment of silence from outside police headquarters on Main Street. And also this morning in Louisville, hundreds gathered to mourn the loss of those Dallas officers. The city held a vigil inside Metro Hall. Mayor Greg Fisher and Police Chief Steve Conrad rang the bells at City Hall 5 times in memory of the fallen officers. The department announced some changes in the wake of the shooting as well. Louisville is one of the several departments telling their officers to patrol in pairs until further notice. A police spokesperson says the department has received some threats since the Dallas shooting overnight. And this change will help make sure that the officers are kept safe, and it will give them a chance to talk with a colleague about what happened and decompress.
As we take a moment to remember the 5 fallen Dallas officers, a group in Garrett County is recognizing the hard work of our first responders. Today, the Bluegrass Community Action Agency held a luncheon to show their appreciation. Samir Rayford continues our top story team coverage.
Members of the Bluegrass Community Action Agency said this event has been planned for months. But they also said, in light of the officers shot in Dallas, this event couldn't have come at a better time.
My tears are right here. That was so sad, and it makes it more meaningful to me that we can show our guys and gals how much we appreciate them.
Jean Goins is referring to the shooting last night in Dallas that claimed 5 officers' lives. She said today was the perfect day to show first responders how much they care.
Well, our first responders are very important to our community.
And she's not alone. All morning long, volunteers crowded the kitchen at First Southern Bank in Lancaster to make sure everything was just right.
Do we have more in the oven? Know that our officers and our responders are really, good people here in our community. I don't know what we would do without them.
Kathy Denham says the shootings in Dallas, Baton Rouge, and Minnesota have had a huge impact on her. She says now more than ever is the time to come together as one.
Well, I'd like to see the community come together as one and do something co-active. What we're going to do, we're just going to keep supporting wherever we're needed.
The agency said they won't be surprised if others in the community follow their lead. In Garrett County, Sabir Rayford, WKYT.
And the group says they hope to have another Appreciation Day soon. Remember, you can track the very latest from Dallas as it develops on our website, WKYT.com, and the WKYT News app. You can download it for free in the app or Google Play stores.
Now turning our attention back to the weather situation, we saw a couple of strong storms move through central Kentucky this afternoon.
Yeah, and they packed quite a punch, causing some damage here in Lexington. Our crews spotted downed trees and even a house hit by lightning. Victor Puente takes a closer look at the damage.
Those storms didn't just bring heavy rain, they also lit up the sky with lightning. At 2 different Lexington homes, lightning strikes led to 911 calls. When the first round of storms came through, Don Young was returning home from the grocery store. He said as he went to unload his vehicle, a lightning strike next to his home on Crimson King Court shook his house.
I opened the door to see if it was the wires on this particular pole, and when I did that, there was a ball of fire.
Kentucky utility workers say that fireball was caused by a fuse that had burned out. They came out to replace that fuse and to remove a limb that had fallen on power lines next to Young's home. About 5 miles away at a work site on Bay Springs Park, a man working on a model home was taken to the hospital after lightning struck next to the home and shocked the man. Another worker at that scene told me they expected him to be okay and that he was talking after that lightning strike. Young said he's been at his home for 40 years. This is the first lightning strike he's dealt with.
It was on fire. Must have been briefly, but I wasn't coming back out. Lightning's not supposed to strike twice in the same place, but I was afraid it might.
There were other workers at the home that was under construction, but no one else was injured. In Lexington, Victor Puente, WKYT.
And that man was working as a plumber, but we're told he was on his lunch break when the lightning hit. As the storms continue to roll through the state leaders are taking a closer look at the damage from yesterday. Lieutenant Governor Janine Hampton met with officials in Marshall County to survey the damage there. Last night, Governor Bevin declared a statewide emergency because of flash flooding in a handful of western Kentucky counties.
Coming up on WKYT News, today's storms are causing issues for people still trying to pick up from yesterday's storms. We'll show you the extent of the damage.
Finally, I've got some better weather news to share with you. Looking ahead toward a better looking weekend in just a moment. Stay here. WKYT First Alert Severe Weather Day. It's 3 in a row and it's on its last legs as of now. Thankfully, looking at the current warnings, you can pick out where this big cluster of thunderstorms developed and then kind of dove toward the southeast. It was diving from northwest to southeast with heavy rain, some high winds, flash flood warnings are out. But as I mentioned a little bit ago, if you don't have flooding outside of where you live now, chances are it's not going to happen. The heavy rains are shutting down and now pushing on out of the state. We're still going to watch another cluster that tries to develop as the evening wears on. But right now, the heaviest rains into southeastern Kentucky getting into Virginia and northeastern Tennessee. So from Harlan up 119 as we go into Letcher County and toward Dorton there into Pike County. Still some heavy rains, but boy, nothing compared to what we were seeing a little earlier. Moderate rains continue to come down. I don't think it's heavy enough right now to cause any renewed flash flooding, but give it another half hour, Jackson, Salyersville, down into the mountains, the big mountains of southeastern Kentucky. Things will begin to lighten up tremendously. Everything, again, coming in as expected northwest to southeast, and that cluster of thunderstorms diving toward the Smoky Mountains. So is anything else going to come our way from the northwest? Look what's developing south of Indianapolis, northwest of Louisville. That's another thunderstorm complex that's going to try to dive toward the southeast. That new future radar showing that the thunderstorms do make a run at us, but the air is much more stable now compared to what we were dealing with earlier because of those thunderstorms that we've had on and off throughout the day have kind of stabilized the atmosphere. So as storms dive in here from northwest to southeast, you may see those weakening because the air just cannot support much more in terms of a big severe weather outbreak. So can we get a strong storm? Yes. Is it likely to be anything like what we have been seeing? No. 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, some 60s will show up. It's a better weather day. Lower humidity and 80 to 85 into many areas with a partly sunny sky. Very nice Saturday evening. So if you're making plans tomorrow evening for just maybe dinner, date night, how about dinner on the patio tomorrow evening? We go into the day on Sunday. Some upper 50s with fog in the morning. By Sunday afternoon, it looks good again. A lot of low and mid 80s, though southern Kentucky, this model isn't showing it. There's a chance to squeeze out a little isolated thunderstorm Sunday afternoon. Then we go into early next week, and by Monday morning, here we are with another cluster of some thunderstorms trying to develop. I think next week again, just about every day can feature a shower or a thunderstorm around here. Don't think it's quite as stormy as this week, but you know what? Not quite as stormy is still potentially pretty stormy, because this was kind of a rock and roll kind of a week around here weather-wise, but better weather over the next few days, and the skies are slowly clearing out there this evening.
Well, thank goodness we can break this pattern at least for a couple of days.
A couple of days, and even better, we're going to do it on a Saturday and a Sunday.
Yeah. I like the way you're talking.
Well, Kentucky's just not catching a break for the most part from these storms this week. As more storms move across the bluegrass now, some people are still trying to clean up from yesterday's storms.
Yeah, strong storms damaged 3 businesses in Wayne County. Monticello was hit pretty hard. Phil Pendleton takes a look at the damage there.
Men are working on the roof of Patriot Industries behind me here on Clearview Drive. This is where most of the damage happened. There were actually 3 industries that sustained damage, the result of high winds about 5:30 Thursday afternoon.
Ceiling tiles started to blow and doors started rattling, and we decided we better get to our safe place very fast.
Jill Guffey and a co-worker were inside Patriot Industries when part of the roof was peeled away by high winds.
Well, we thought it was a tornado when it was happening. Now, I've heard later that it's probably just the winds, wind damage, but yeah, it was pretty scary at the time.
Across the street, the winds blew down trees and sent several small sheds from E&E Brokerage across the street to a parking lot where part of a shed hit a minivan. There and at Patriot Industries, workers scrambled to clean up and repair the damage.
It's very minimal damage compared to what it could have been. We've lost just a little piece of our roof, some, inside, no equipment was damaged, anything like that. We got everything moved in time before the rain damaged it.
It is a normal workday here at Patriot Industries. About 70 people work here, and I'm told that all of them are working today, and there were no injuries. The extent of the damages still being assessed by local emergency management. In Wayne County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
And emergency management tells us that electricity was also knocked out for several people between Monticello and Lake Cumberland. Most people had their power restored, though, by this afternoon.
Speaking of weather and sports, the rains really hit the Kentucky Speedway, Rob.
Qualifying wiped out for tomorrow's race. The big story there continuing to be the track surface and the Peach Jam. DeAndre Ayton and John Petty, a couple of high-profile recruits that John Calipari has his eye on. Sports is next. At Kentucky Speedway, Sprint Cup drivers again on the track for a second day this morning before a thunderstorm washed out most of the session and qualifying was canceled. Drivers are still trying to learn their way around the track in the new asphalt. Kyle Busch and Brad Keselowski have dominated the Quaker State 400, each with 2 wins. So did the repave level the playing field?
Well, it's a totally different racetrack for sure. I'd say it's basically like starting over. I mean, there's some of the characteristics that are the same, but it's kind of like starting over. But it almost is every year, honestly, with the rules changes, the development all the teams make with the cars, the tire changes, all those things. There are a lot of variables that change it each and every time you come back, especially at tracks like this you only come to once a year.
Certainly the guys who win frequently and are champions, they're champions for a reason. They're good at what they do. They don't care if it's a new racetrack they've never seen or a place they've been going to for 20 years. I don't think it really matters from that standpoint. So I don't think it makes your job any easier or anything like that just because nobody else has seen the place before, in my opinion.
Another day for the Peach Jam in North Augusta, South Carolina. Among the players John Calipari has his eye on, 6'7" guard John Petty. He's out of Huntsville, Alabama. He's displayed a versatile game. And then there's 7-foot power forward DeAndre Ayton out of Phoenix. He's rated the top prep player in the country.
I mean, probably next fall I'll probably decide or I'm about to take visits this year. Probably next fall I'll probably make my decision there.
It's real great just to come out compete with the level of competition that's out here. It's tough and challenging. It makes you think harder, makes you work harder, but it's very exciting.
Earlier this week, UK center John Toth was named to the Remington Award watch list. Word today that he is on the Outland Trophy watch list. The Outland Trophy goes to college football's best interior lineman, the Remington Award to the best center. And the men's semifinals at Wimbledon, Roger Federer facing 8th-seeded Milos Raonic. And Raonic pulls the upset. He becomes the first Canadian man to earn a berth in a Grand Slam final. Raonic won the last 2 sets to pull it out. The score was 7-6, 6-7, 4-6, 7-5, 6-3. Federer lost in the semifinals for the first time in his career. The other semi, Andy Murray winning in straight sets over Thomas Berdych, 6-3, 6-3, 6-3. Murray is in the Wimbledon final for the 3rd time. In 2012, he lost to Federer. A year later, he defeated Novak Djokovic. And that's sports. Much more coming up in the next half hour. Stay with us. We'll be back after the break.